All right, so we are changing the bearings in this new Banshee. Take your wheel off. I'm going to show you how to do these. It's fairly simple. There's not a whole lot to it on a Banshee. Take that one nut off, quarter pin. Spindle comes out. This is going to take you a minute. You got to unthread these bolts, or not bolts, big nuts. I use a big adjustable wrench for it. We're going to take these off. Next, I'm going to take this brake caliper off. I done broke these loose. Pretty simple. 2 bolts. Set on the side. Move the caliper out of the way. Do be sure that you don't press the brake pedal down when that is off. Now, we may have to take this down. We may not. Go jack it up a little more. Give it a jack or two. That's good right there. Alright. Hold this. You film. Let's see if this comes out. Sometimes we can just smack these and it'll come out. But this one's old. I'll tell you what we're going to do. The one thing you don't want to do is start beating on the edge of that. Alright, so you got to drop the skid plate so the disc brake will clear it. You don't even have to take this off, the tire. All this will come out as one, but it depends on how long the fuller's been together, and this is an 01. It's got a little rust on it. So it's going to take me a minute of beating on the tire to get this thing out. The bad thing is even with a dead blow, you start hitting on the end of this, you're liable to mess the axle up. So sucks, but I know you can put the nut back on, the axle nut, but I've seen that screw up multiple times on a Banshee. And bend the threads here, or bend the castle nut or axle nut. So I'm thinking I'm just gonna have to hit the tire and try to break this thing loose, because I sure don't want to buy an axle when nothing's wrong with this one, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Alright, so take your dead blow, just kind of tap, rotate this. You don't want to hit this with a real hammer, because if you bend stuff, that sucks. Now, you can take the chain off, but I would rather not do that because this slides all the way through. And every time you take a master link off, it makes everything harder to do. And I may wind up taking it off, and I may not. See, and it ain't separating right in here yet, so all we got to do now is knock this through. But like I said, if you keep hitting the end of that, and I've messed up axles before because they're just stuck in there. So this is the first step. You don't have to take that off. Once the axle goes all the way through, it will fall out. You don't even have to take the chain loose. Alright, so I decided to just go ahead and take the chain loose. Just kind of look over your master link. Make sure you didn't damage it. And these always go back on this way. Not that way. Facing away from primary drive. Now, then, normally you don't have to take that off on a Banshee, but like I said, it just depends on how rusted one is. And that's why when a machine's really old, you can see the plate. Now, only thing left we got to do is get this thing out that way. Which is going to be hard because it's a little rusty. I sure don't want to knock this thing off the jack. Okay, so this is another day from the beginning of the video. This is the hardest axle I've ever took out of any four-wheeler. we're having to improvise a little bit. This sledgehammer ain't big enough. So in order to keep from damaging my axle, I've come up with this little contraption here with some tape, and it seems to be working so far. Put the axle nut back on, tighten it up, put you a socket on here. I'd rather replace a socket as an axle or a nut, stripping the threads. As you can see, it is moving, but yeah. Let me smack it a couple times. You film right there and let's see if it does anything. Let that crack.
I'm going to try to hold it too. Don't look like it.
Alright, we're going to have to put the camera down for a minute. She's going to have to hold the fuller because the momentum's going with the fuller. Alright. I'm a little bit out of breath, a little bit winded. You can tell how hard we was having to hit it. I've never had a banshee this hard to get out. So, we got it out. Let's look at the bearings. That's why it was hard to get out. Look at the rust. So I'm gonna have to clean that up. Where's the razor blade? We've been losing this razor blade a lot here lately. Oh, it's over here, right here. All right, let's cut this tape off. I'm gonna show y'all what I've got rigged up here. This works. First time I've ever tried this, and it keeps you from damaging the axle. I've never thought about it before. Now watch this. I bet you, oh look at that. That's how hard we was hitting it. We even crammed the tape in that.
Here.
No, need a. Look at that. Alright, let's see if the nut will back on. This will be the tell sign if we messed up. Look at that. Put it on the easiest setting. That's it. So that's how you keep from damaging your axle nut. Sweet. Alright, we're gonna get this out and we'll look at it. Okay, so we have got the axle out, and of course I've beat the crap out of the bolts, and before anybody starts yapping, I've done tried with a dead blow to keep from damaging it. It don't have enough force. This thing was so rusted, this pretty much welded to the axle, as you can see. Tried to take the bolts out, even with a 300 pound-feet torque impact gun. 30 seconds of ugga-duggas, it stripped them. So right now, it looks like I may have to wind up buying a disc if I warp this one. This piece. And that may be it. I just don't like the things being all jacked up. So anyway, here we go. This is, the dead blow wouldn't work. This is the only thing that'd work. There it went. Finally. And that is why it wouldn't come off. Look at the rust. Sweet. All right, there you have it.